How I built a business that runs without me. Now, this very much sounded like a fantasy to me. I certainly fell for and paid for my fair share of scammy courses that promised I'd walk away with a business that works without me. But really, they were just good at marketing. And they hit all my pain points. They wanted me to imagine this business that runs without me. No 2 a.m. client emergencies. No panicked Slack messages while I'm on vacation. No wondering if things are falling apart while I'm not looking. Aren't you tired of being the bottleneck? Yeah, of course. I mean, my problem was that for years I thought I was a hero, the fixer, the guy who had to approve everything, solve everything, and know everything. And sure, my ego loved that, but my sanity didn't. And my wife and kids, they weren't too fond of it either. But eventually I realized something had to change. That's when I started building a team that could actually run the business without me. Not just survive without me, but actually thrive. So step one, I had to get out of the way. This means you have to ditch the belief that you are the only one who can do things the right way. Dan Martell says something to the extent, 80% good done by someone else is 100% awesome for me. This gives you permission as the business owner to realize there may be some tasks you actually are the best at doing. But if someone can do that almost as good, allowing you to do all the other things necessary in a self-led company, then that is 100% awesome. And I'll share a widely known secret with you. You can't scale without other people. And the only way to have a self-led company is with other people involved. Obviously, I wasn't the only one that could do things the right way. And yes, there were some things I was the best at, but there were even way more things I wasn't the best at. To have a business that runs without you, you can't be involved in any of the day-to-day necessary operational tasks of the business. So I started identifying each of these tasks and then began training others to do it. And if you've seen my video on the 10X org chart, I actually started putting those tasks under future job positions to help me stay organized and answer the question, who should I train to do this instead of me? This isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. That process took time. But every task I switched from me to another team member was progress. Step two, I built systems that don't rely on my brain. Very few things are worse than reinventing the wheel every time you do something. I had done most of the tasks in the business so often that they were pretty second nature to me. But as I added team, those processes had to change slightly. Also, more minds looking at things help uncover inefficiencies. The way I would do things became the incorrect or inefficient way to do things. And what happened was each process became its own Frankenstein monster with part of each process living in multiple team members' heads, which happens to be all the right ingredients for a recipe for disaster. Yummy. So we started documenting processes. Today, these processes are part of our internal university each team member goes through. But in the beginning, it started off as a Google Doc, accessible to all team members. You have to accept that perfection isn't going to be possible. This is an ongoing part of maintaining a self-led company. Create processes where they don't exist, review current processes, and continuously improve. And with documented systems and processes, when something goes wrong, we can detect the problem by asking, what system broke? The third step is to empower team with ownership, not just to-dos. This is the part where most business owners get stuck. We want help, but what we really want is a mind-reading assistant. They do the things exactly the way we would, without ever making mistakes. If you exist, please reach out to me. So we know we need help, and we know that our team can't read our minds. We have to ask ourselves, am I giving my team actual ownership, or am I just handing out chores? To-do lists are fine for basic delegation. But if every team member has to come to you for approvals, for decisions, or next steps, you aren't building a self-led team. Ownership means they don't just complete tasks, it means they own outcomes. That meant shifting how I gave direction. Instead of saying, do this, then this, then this, I started saying, here's the goal. What's your plan for getting there? And then I shut up and let them drive. And of course, mistakes are going to be made. Some of those mistakes cost us time. Every time I jumped in to rescue them, I robbed them of the chance to learn, grow, and get better. So I stopped rescuing. I started mentoring. I helped them debrief decisions, understand consequences, and build confidence, not just compliance. When people know you actually trust them, they show up differently. They take more responsibility, they think bigger, and they care more. This shift doesn't just lighten my load, it multiplied our capacity. Because now I didn't have one brain trying to solve everything. I had an entire team thinking, solving, and owning. And that's when the business stopped needing me in every room, on every call, in every decision. And then the fourth step, I found a mentor. I don't know what I don't know, and mentors can help us see what those are. The courses also don't always cover the exact situation or nuanced situation that I found myself in, and so a mentor is able to help me work through those. One of my mentors, Kelly Roach, she has a group of like-minded business owners, all looking to have a self-led company. And so I was able to participate in masterminds with them. And hearing others as they go through their journey helps either solidify something that we did at my company, or gives me something else to think about. Okay, and now the fifth step, I tested it out. As part of this journey, I read the book Clockwork by Mike Michalowicz, which is all about how to get a business to run like clockwork. About you, clever title, right? The end goal of all the principles and tools he writes about is for the business owner to be able to take a 4-week vacation. But the owner has to work up to it. So get processes in place, take a week off. Find out where your team got stuck, where they didn't feel like they had ownership over something to make a decision. Then you fix any of the issues that popped up. Retrain team members, empower them to take ownership. Then try a vacation again. This time, go for 2 weeks. Same process. Identify the issues that came up while you were out, retrain, fix. I took an entire year to go from my first week off and culminated the year with a 4-week vacation. It was a real vacation. No checking emails, unplugged from work. And let me tell you how glorious it was. It really helps you appreciate the science that supports our human need for breaks. And I would say since that point in time, I continue to work to making the company more and more self-led. Or I probably should say team-led. That first 4-week vacation, I would say the company was about 70% team-led. They did not need me. The company added new clients while I was out. The business didn't lose momentum. It was a massive win. Today, years later, we're closer to 90% team-led. And I'm spending my time mentoring my leadership team so they can mentor the managers of their departments. Everyone feels more fulfilled compared to the model where the business owner is the single brain and the team are the arms that do all the work. But I'm still needed. I have a vision for the company, a vision of the level of service clients should be receiving, a vision of the culture our team should be enjoying, and it's the guiding star the team is trying to follow. And because I'm removed from the day-to-day, when I am asked to help debrief on decisions or deep dive into issues that don't support the vision, I see better the solutions that I can guide and mentor my team more effectively with. So, can you build a business that runs without you? Yes, absolutely. But it is not a magic trick. It's a shift in how you lead, how you delegate, how you think about your role, and how you define success. You have to stop being the hero and start being the architect. You build the systems, you develop the people, you let go of control so you can step into actual leadership. And of course, it's not going to be perfect. You're still going to get pulled in occasionally. You'll still have to course correct. I mean, it took me 3 years to completely remove myself from client tax work. And when you build it right, those moments of being pulled back in become rare instead of daily. Now let's think about the payoff. A business that grows, even when you're not in the room. A team that's not just following orders, but owning outcome. And a life that's not ruled by your calendar or your inbox. That's what I've been building. And if you're tired of being the bottleneck, the rescuer, the everything to everyone, maybe it's time to start building yours. Because freedom doesn't come from stepping away. It comes from building something solid enough so you can. If you're wondering where to even start here. We've created a business efficiency assessment that shows you exactly where your business might be bottlenecked, where you're still the linchpin, and what's keeping your team from taking real ownership. It's short, it's sharp, and it's brutally honest. You'll walk away with clear insight into how close or how far you are from a business that can thrive without you being in the weeds every day. And your assessment report will give you simple action items for improvement. So take the assessment, get the truth, and then build the kind of company that gives you your life back. If you're ready, click the link and let's get to work. Never forget, take Briggs, go faster.